News Radio WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
It's 8 o'clock. Rich has already conquered social media, scanned the headlines, read the reports, finished another Diet Coke, and he's just getting warmed up. Richmond's Morning News with Rich Herrera. This is News Radio WRVA.
8:04 this morning on Richmond's Morning News. News Radio WRVA got a big announcement and a reminder. Super Dave, good morning.
Morning.
Pretty good show so far. General Burt Mississauga joining us, candidate for U.S. Senate. Scott Walker joined us, former governor from Wisconsin and the president of Young Americans Foundation, YAF.org, if you want to find out more. Tell your kid they're not going to be alone as the only conservative on campus if they're going back to school this week or next. Tom Garrett will join us in just a little bit for our Capitol Square Insider Report. Let me remind you of something, and then I'm going to tell you about something pretty exciting. So I want to remind everybody, coming up on Saturday, Super Dave, Saturday, are you going to join me? Are you going to come out and eat?
I am always ready to eat.
Okay.
I haven't had tri-tip in quite a long time,
Okay,
so I'm ready.
Tri-tip is part of the sirloin steak family. Nobody really cooks it anywhere outside of the ranchers in Central California where I grew up. Every time we had a big party when I was a kid, we cooked tri-tip. My uncle was a labor contractor. When he would throw a big party at the end of the harvest, he'd throw this big party, and they'd cook pounds and pounds and pounds of tri-tip. And that's what you'd have for weddings, for birthday parties. In a town called San Luis Obispo, they have a farmer's market on Friday, Dave, and there's probably 8 spots that you can get tri-tip sandwiches. You cut it into slices. You put it on a French roll that's been buttered and toasted with garlic butter. If you want to put salsa on it and then just eat it like that, it is delicious. It is delicious. It is mouthwatering. In fact, if you look at some of my social media accounts, I actually show you what they look like in a couple examples of it, because it's not something that people cook anywhere outside of that part of Central California. San Joaquin Valley, Bakersfield, where my family lives now, and along the coast where I grew up. I'm going to bring that to Richmond. Tom Leonard's is bringing in tri-tip, cut specially for me. We're going to put it out on the grill Saturday, beginning at 11, until we run out. And the proceeds we make from selling those tri-tip sandwiches are going to go to Wreaths Across America. So you're going to get a great lunch, something you might not have ever had before, and it is delicious. And we're going to be able to provide extra wreaths this year for Wreaths Across America. Now, last year, I went with my friends at River City Wranglers, the Jeep Club. You see the Jeeps with all the little ducks? And it broke my heart because when we were putting the wreaths out, and then we had so many volunteers, but we didn't have enough wreaths for all the headstones. And there were some headstones last year that weren't recognized. They didn't have the wreaths on top of them. And then when I looked at them, it's unknown soldier, 2 buried in one plot at the National Cemetery here in Richmond. It broke my heart. I said, let's do something to see if we can get more wreaths this year. So this is the first step. The River City Wrangler folks are going to be out there and display their Jeeps. If you love Jeeps, come by and take a look. Come by and get a great sandwich and help us raise money. It's the first. If this goes well, we're calling it a meetup, the RVA Community Cookout. I'm going to pick different charities. And I've got a couple of charities in mind, real great local charities. But I wanted to start off with my friends at River City Wranglers, the Jeep Enthusiast Club. Big club. Really good people. They've invited me in there. They've been really nice to me. Last year, we did a toy drive at VCU. And this year, I want to help them raise money for Wreaths Across America, because they actually will have a convoy of the wreaths that go to the cemetery from out in Ashland. They're great people, so I wanted to do something with them. So I'm going to be out there cooking. A couple friends of mine are coming along with me as well. And I'm inviting you to come by Tom Leonard's on Saturday at beginning at 11 o'clock until we run out, and have a great sirloin sandwich, Santa Maria style tri-tip. My dad was born in Santa Maria, so it means a lot to me. Bringing a little bit of my childhood to you as we raise money here in Richmond. So that's number one. All right, Dave, you ready for story number 2?
I'm ready.
All right. Can I blow off Richmond's morning news brief? Are you going to get mad at me if we just blow through this?
No, let's. This is important.
Okay. Tell the story. I first took over the show. And I didn't understand. And nobody can unless you're here. The power of WRVA. This is the voice of Virginia. And this is a really important microphone. And you go back from Alden A. Road to Tim Timberlake and Jimmy Barrett and John Reed. This is a big microphone. And I'm just the person sitting here. It's my turn behind this microphone. And I've always wanted to do something that was important to my dad. I said, make a difference. Give back to the community. If you heard me talk about my dad, he was a migrant farm worker as a kid, didn't speak English until he went to school. The only thing he ever wanted to do was the American dream. Have a better life for his kids than he had. So we worked really hard to do that. And my son's doing it, I did it. And one of the other things he always wanted to do, because he was so grateful for everything he had in his life, is to give back to the community and make a difference. And he was a very humble man, very quiet. He wasn't like me at all. I take after my mom. But he just always emphasized to us, be a good neighbor and give back to the community. And I've been so lucky throughout my broadcast career. Dave, I didn't know this. Yesterday was the anniversary of Fox Sports Radio launching.
No, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. I looked it up last night. Somebody had shared this with me that 8/17 yesterday was the 26th anniversary of Fox Sports Radio. I was one of the original hosts on the national network. And throughout my career, I've gotten a chance to do a lot of great things. I would host kids from Make-A-Wish at the ballpark that were battling cancer, and I bring them to the baseball stadium and be able to introduce some players, get autographs. I love that. And now that I have this opportunity, I have this bully pulpit that I can make a difference in the community. Make my dad proud and happy. Watching down. So last year, we were doing the show, and the news came out that Joe Biden was suffering from cancer, prostate cancer, and it had spread. And when I was in baseball, Dave, every year they do the pink bats for Mother's Day to fight breast cancer. They do the blue bats on Father's Day for prostate cancer. And when I worked in baseball, I was a lot of times called upon to be the spokesperson, go out there and do all the interviews. So I told the story of I was at Tampa Bay. We did the whole thing of, hey, come out to the ballpark, get a prostate cancer check, and we'll give you a pair of tickets to the game. So I went and did all the interviews, and they said, hey, Rich, you go out there and greet people. So I did. The guy walked up, and he said, hey, I'm afraid. My dad had cancer, died of it. My brother has cancer. It runs in our family. I know I probably have prostate cancer, but I just can't bring myself to go. And I would tell everybody when I was doing those programs, they said, what's more embarrassing, getting poked where you don't want to get poked or telling your kid you're dying of cancer? I'll take the uncomfortableness. And that was back before we had testing, PSA testing. So he goes, I'm just afraid to. I said, hey, don't worry about it. He goes, will you stand with me? Because if not, I'm going to bolt. I just don't want to know. I said, okay. So we stood through the line about 5 minutes. We get up to the point where they're going to draw blood. He goes, I can't do it, Rich. You go first. I'm like, I'm not old enough. I don't need this. He goes, you got to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. I said, fine. So I give the blood. He did his. Stood in line, get up to the trailer where they're doing the full exams. And he goes, I said, okay, buddy, here you go. And he goes, no, I can't do it. You go first. Like, oh, man. So I went in, got checked. He came out. There were two different trailers. I went in first. By the time I got done, he came back out. Doctor came out and said, thank goodness we caught him. It turned out to be an advanced stage of cancer, but the doctor said we probably saved his life. Wow. Usually you start crying when I tell this story, but I'm going to be brave today for you because you guys get tired of me crying all the time. And it always stuck with me. So when we found out Joe Biden had cancer, I said, well, I called Danny Avula because he had been, with the health department. I said, is there any place that I could send people? Because people are calling in that don't have insurance. And he says, no, really, after COVID, there's nothing that's out there. The most of it just dried up. So we're talking about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to find something. And we talked about it in the air all morning. And I got a call after the show from Virginia Urology. And they said, Rich, we want to help. We teamed up last year and we did
1 minute.
a prostate cancer screening, free prostate cancer screening, especially for people that didn't have insurance at the Flying Squirrels. And I said, I hope this is successful because I'd like to do this again. It was our first annual. Well, in order to have first annual, you need to have a second annual. And I'm here to tell you, we're going to have that second annual. I just want to say thank you to Lee and Jonathan and all the doctors over at Virginia Urology. Sorry, give me a minute. They listened to the show and they stepped up in an amazing way. The people at Virginia Urology were able to test people. And it was something that is as powerful as I've ever been able to do on the radio. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to give you the dates coming up. I believe it's Tuesday, September 8th. Richmond Flying Squirrels are going to be a part of it again. And I just want to make that known to everybody that we're going to do it again. We're going to have the second annual. And it's solely on the behest of my friends at Virginia Urology that just, I could not have asked them to do more for me last year. Hearing people, talking to people out there was something that's kind of life-changing as well. So we're going to do it coming up, and I'll give you all the details, but I just want to let you know we're going to do the second annual prostate cancer screening free, especially for those of you that don't have insurance. It's the number one killer of men. It's so preventable, but you got to get checked. And there's a lot of people that have lost their insurance, don't have insurance, or dads who are saying, listen, I got to choose between going to the doctor or feeding my kids. I'm going to roll the dice on my health because I got to take care of my kids. No, you don't have to. You come out there, we're going to have it outside the ballpark. You don't even need a ticket to get in, but we'll do free prostate cancer screening that day. Virginia Urology and the Flying Squirrels and my friend Ed Randall and all the folks that helped us put it on last year, they're going to step up this year as well. So just God bless you, Virginia Urology. Really good people. Really good people. So I wanted to let everybody know about that. And as we get closer, I'll tell you more. I'll tell you more. But to look at somebody's eyes that said, I don't have insurance and I didn't know what to do is pretty powerful. So that's coming up. So Saturday, help me raise money for Rees Across America. And on September 8th, it's a Tuesday, in front of CarMax Park, we're going to save some lives. I know we're going to save some lives, and I need you to help get the word out. All right? Wanted to make those big announcements. Let's see. Today's program is brought to you in part by A